Hey everybody, welcome on in. That was a very ominous, abrupt sound with the music cutting out. Let me fix that real quick. Get the music back up. I'll be getting us started in just a minute here. So come on in, get comfortable, get cozy. Welcome. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Hey, how are we doing tonight? Welcome back, anybody who's here. Good to see you all tonight. It's been a week already. Holy cow, week flies by. Yeah, sorry for the weirdness on the audio. It started. My background music has lately started deciding to just quit on me as soon as I start stream. So we'll figure that one out. It's good times. It's been a learning experience. How's everybody's week been? I hope it's been good for you. It's been pretty good here. We're busy gearing up for some company this week, so that always adds an element of busyness to the week, but not so bad. Let me tune that down a little bit. All right, good deal, good deal. So I realized last week I totally forgot to plug the Games Done Quick event that was going on, raising money for Malala Fund. This is actually their shirt frame fatales. It's an all-women speedrunning event. It was super cool. Ran through Saturday night late. Lots of really fun runs, super awesome events, and awesome cause. I need to do a better job at letting people know what's going on if they're not aware. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna hop straight into warm up. Gonna get things started tonight, and we can just chat along the way. Hey Rose, how you doing? Fire up our Clip Studio paint. Good. It's been a busy week, but a good one. I definitely have noticed it's gotten a bit busier, more stressful at work, and I don't always notice how much that bleeds over into my mental state, but it's good. Lots of progress. Lots of stuff going on. Yeah. All right. So you guys know the drill. Got my Pokemon cards here. I picked the cards, but I can't see which one I'm picking here. So I'm gonna pick this guy. This will be our warm up for tonight. Hey, it is Growlithe. Rose, I have been loving the baking reels that you've been putting up on Instagram. The zucchini brownie bites looked just incredible. Holy cow. Maybe that's why I'm hungry right now. Could be. Alright, so so Growlithe, cute fire dog Pokemon. That's gonna be our warm-up tonight. Let me go ahead and pull the reference image. Nice. My gosh, with all the baking you do, Rose, like your house just must smell incredible, like all the time. Oh my goodness. All right, there's our reference image. Okay, so the rules are we're just doing a quick little 5-minute warm up. We're not trying to finish the piece. We're not really pushing ourselves too hard on it. It's just to loosen up our arms, loosen up our art brains, think about shapes and composition. I welcome anybody to draw along. It's good times. And you never know when it's going to be handy to know how to draw a random Pokemon. All right, so I've got my 5-minute timer up, and we're going to go now. All right, so start out. Label our layers. Again, tonight I'm making it my goal. I'm stating it so y'all can hold me accountable. I'm going to use hotkeys because they not only feel cool, but they make life so much faster, so much easier, faster to do art. Okay. I mean, my default cute Pokemon pose is a sleeping Pokemon, and I'm just gonna stick with that tonight. All right. So we got the head. It's gonna be something like this. Got one arm, maybe another one coming up here. Well, where do we want the face pony? Maybe we'll do it like this a little bit, kind of snuggled into the arm. That could work. All right. Then we're gonna come down here, so then the ears will be something like this. Okay, we can do that. Nose will be probably right about it where the center lines intersect. So then the neck is gonna be doing something kind of like, no, not quite. Okay, so then the shoulders here. These itty bitty little paws. Look at that, so cute. Actually, those will sit kind of right along where the muzzle sits, so do something like that. Just starting to want to draw Sonic the Hedgehog now with the nose and the mouth, all that. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting little bit of detail with the tuft of fur on the chest. Okay. Okay, we can work with that. Okay, we got about half our time remaining. And again, I may not even get to pencil lines on this because I'm playing around with this composition a bit. But that's not really the goal. I can always come back to a piece later. But right now, the goal is just figuring out, getting loose, figuring out what we want to do. Again, getting our art brains kind of just working on it, you know? It's funny, I keep thinking about like, oh, it'd be fun to try different stream safe music in the background, but I've been so happy with Game Chops. This one is from Chrono Cross, if anybody has played it. Probably in my top 10 games of all time list, maybe. Game music is also really nice to work to, I've found, because it's usually doesn't have too much in the way of lyrics or words. You can kind of distract you just enough, but not enough to mess with your focus. And who drew on the wrong layer and has 2 thumbs? Me. But that's okay. So I'm gonna just delete my completely empty sketch layer, duplicate you, turn that off, get just a big old eraser going, clear you out, turn that back on, now go here, go even faster. Whee! Cool. Now you're separated out correctly. Cool. It may feel like a waste of time sometimes, like sorting out layers, but honestly, if I were to go back and complete this piece at some time in the future, I would be so very happy I took the time to get that sorted out. Yes. Oh my gosh. I do love jazz music as a background as well. Classical, I like it whenever I give it a try, but I always just forget about it. I don't know why. Maybe I listened to it too much growing up, looking for the new stuff. All right, that was our timer, by the way. 5 minutes. Not as much progress on this one as some of our previous warm-ups, but I'm actually really happy with how it came out. And this is a bit of a tighter sketch layer than I usually get to, so it'll make the pencils easier if I come back to it. So that's good. So that's good. That's good. What do I want to do next? So if you were here the last few weeks, I was working on this guy, and I am very proud to report we're done. We are completely done with this one. It's funny, it's just a 4-panel comic, but I managed to stretch it out across, what, 3 streams? Thanks, Rose. This is like, I don't know, I think I mentioned it before. Like, this is my bread and butter. I love these little slice of life, kind of situationally funny moments. I used to comic these all the time, and kind of go through phases where I get back into it now. For any sharp-eyed viewers right now, you might notice there's actually a difference from what I saved at the end of last week and this. And that is because when I went in and looked one last time before posting, I realized that I had drawn child number 2's hair much larger in panel 2 than in panel 1. So for consistency, I just went in and matched the sizes a little more closely. So they're a little different, right? A little bit different than I finished it out, but yeah, just wanted to get that little consistency note. So that's good. So having finished this, I've got a few different things I've been working on. I've got a pet art commission I've been wrapping up. I've been working on some thumbnails for a cover, the cover that I'd spent a little time working on stream. I mentioned I had some really good critique about that one, where I was thinking I need to explore it a little bit more. I took it very surface level, and not that that's horrible, but I think for a cover I can do more. So I really appreciated that critique. So I've been doing some thumbnailing in my spare time or in the background to try to figure out a few different takes for that, but I'm not ready to work on that on stream yet. So what are we going to do tonight? Well, I am making a t-shirt for a friend who is also a friend of the stream. As you may or may not know, we live in Mickey Mouse's backyard, which is pretty exciting times. We actually just finished the fireworks show about an hour ago that we can actually watch from our house, which is awesome. So we see a lot of friends when they're visiting Disney, which is nice. And so these friends are big Disney fans, and I'm working on a shirt for them to wear at the parks and around. This is not a Disney character, you may note. This is actually a kind of if you know, you know kind of thing. This is a mascot for a bakery, actually, Rose. That their main location is in Disney Springs, which is Disney's kind of, you know, free to access downtown shopping area. Yeah, it's called Gideon's Bakehouse. Let me see. You know what? Can I just... I bet I can do this. Okay. I'm just going to share them with you because I didn't know about them until maybe a couple years ago, and my friend told me about it. And I'm so glad that they did. All right, let's add browser source. Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, this is the, oh, that's transparency. Well, that is fascinating. Hey, look, I made an advertisement for Gideon's. I like how that one came out. Okay. Anyway, don't look at anything else. Look at this cookie. They make, as is clearly advertised here, nearly half-pound cookies. Like, not even kidding. Their cookies are not only large, but they're absolutely delicious. We finally checked them out. Yeah, they're Rose. Oh my gosh, they do some pretty awesome combinations of stuff. Like this is their peanut butter cold brew cookie. Yeah, they run all sorts of like these seasonal specials. Anyway, it's the highlight. So if people who know about it, especially the location over at Disney Springs, you're visiting, you're on property, why not go take the bus or whatever means to get over there and get some amazing cookies. Sorry, I was staring at the cookie and totally lost my train of thought. That's awesome. Yeah, so it's kind of a Disney Springs if you know thing. And also they have some very they have this kind of cutesy but also spooky kind of decor. So like I actually drew this one. This is a kind of cutified version of their mascot, which is a gargoyle, basically. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, so like just for a reference, here's the guy. Yeah, this place is so good. Like the line is usually out the door. Like you usually have to wait a good 20 to 60 minutes to get in, depending on when you go. Like I actually took off one morning to run to run out there and get the short line, but it was still like 20 minutes to get in. But it was absolutely worth it. Anyway, so we went there, putting together a cookie care package for friends, and I saw the art, I saw the mascot. I'm like, you know what? I really want to draw this guy. It's got that kind of weird intersection of cute and spooky, and it's something like that Pokémon does well as well for some of their designs. And I was like, but you know what? I'm gonna kind of chibi-fy him. Gonna make him like a little bit cuter, a little bit smaller. And I kind of knew already that I wanted to do a shirt design with him. So I was I kind of pitched it to my friend, to my friends, and they said yes. So I'm very excited to be working on this. So I'm getting it ready for them. So I actually had sketched this one out, just standard paper and pencil. Just kind of doodling one day when I was doing it, and then I went ahead and brought it into Clip, and you can see I did some adjustments on the wings, like I evened out the sizing, stuff like that. But yeah, so what I'm just working on now is getting this to kind of the final design level for the shirt, so it can be ready for them. Not a crazy amount of stuff left to do on it. Just going to add some text. They actually recommended some text that I really like, which I'm going to be adding. I can also lay down just a bit of color on here. And what was I going to do? The other thought was I could try an additional pose of him eating the cookie, which I might explore as well. In fact, let's do that. I do this as a separate. Okay, I like to use Clip Studio. Clip Studio Paint version EX has additional like page management stuff, and it duplicates a little bit of what you might find in InDesign. Maybe not 100%, but a lot of it, and it gives you this nice page functionality. So what I've really taken to doing is going in and using that to create like little sketchbooks. So I've got a digital sketchbook. Since I work mostly digitally, it's nice anyway. And then if I absolutely hate something, I can just completely delete the file, not have to rip the page out or whatever. So it's good. It's good, I tell you. So I am gonna copy my layer here because I'm going to use it as a reference. Just copy. Hello. There we go. Look at Jeff not using any hotkeys when he could be. And this is a vector layer. So I think I've no doubt mentioned vector layers before, but they're one of the things that makes Clip Studio Paint so great is because you can do this. You can just shrink it down. You can also blow it up. It doesn't really degrade the lines. It's all pretty handy. And if you ever need to change your resolution of your image, it's a big help. All right. Reference. I don't know why I decided to type it out all the way this time. Apparently I'm feeling very formal tonight. I forgot my top hat and monocle. All right, and so the process on this is gonna look just kind of a lot like it did with the Pokemon warm-up, except hopefully faster. So now I could do it this way. So part of me like wants to do it. Okay. A little bit like this, where he's like got kind of this over the shoulder thing going, eating cookie, like he's trying to hide it, kind of gremlin-y maybe. Also, I say he, but I don't really know that. Does anybody know the Gideon's lore? Especially friends of stream. I think I can probably say your names. Dana, Felicia, if you're watching this and you know the lore about this character, can you drop some of that in the comments? I would love to know for my personal edification. It's got like the horn right here coming out. Maybe. Just gonna be little guys, so we're gonna make him kind of do the kind of pear-shaped thing to make it very cutesy, vaguely baby-like. That's interesting. Okay. Thanks, Rose. Yeah, does anybody else draw without any plan whatsoever sometimes? And you just kind of like, well, I didn't think I was going to end up here, but here we are. Get the ears in there too. So the cookie's got to be big, right? How does he want to hold it? Maybe like that. Then draw another hand here. Bite marks. Cookie is vaguely like disc shaped ish. Okay, it's gonna do that like hoof thing where it goes like that. I can turn that a little bit more. So then I could have the wings kind of coming out like that. Yeah. I will need to shrink it down. I didn't leave myself a whole lot of room on that. Okay. Well, Rose, I know you've been doing a ton of baking lately. Have you been getting to do any art lately? Just that wavy thing. That. Oh, nice, nice. So you're doing like portfolio stuff and all that? Or just getting your portfolio arranged on the page? Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking for. That leg is not, I'm not happy with that though. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we can just say goodbye to that leg. That's fine. That's fine. There we go. Hey, how's it going? So, what do you prefer I call you? Do you prefer to go by Janos? And also thank you. Thank you very much, and thanks for the follow. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, we can go with Janos. I think it sounds cool. Well, hey, welcome on in. We're just working on some art for this is actually for a t-shirt for some friends of the stream. Where did you go, Clip Studio? There you go. So this is actually the mascot for a bakery, which you might not expect. Yeah, we're always excited to have new friends on the stream. How's your week been so far? Well, so far it's Thursday. How has your week been? Leg still isn't quite right. It's, you know what? Maybe it's just sitting. Maybe it's just sitting. That works better. Oh no. Well, don't worry about for the sake of vibes. We're all relaxed here. It's good. You can I hope the rest of your week is a little more calm and stable and joyful. Okay. So yeah, this is the mascot for a bakery here in the greater Magic Kingdom area. couple of friends of the stream. They're the ones who introduced me to it. Their cookies are amazing, and I'm putting this little fella on a shirt. I'm just working out a couple of designs. This is my first thought at the idea. Kind of cutified. It's a gargoyle, cutified version with a cookie. Oh, no worries. Thanks for coming by. It was really good to chat with you for a bit. Hope you have a great night. Yeah, I can't claim credit for the mascot, of course, but I did kind of chibify it. This is wrong layer. This is the official design. They have that kind of cute, spooky vibe going on. But yeah, so we're just working. We're here in Clip Studio Paint, which is my art program of choice. I'm playing around, seeing what we kind of end up with. Thank you. Okay. This is kind of it, but we're maybe a little more. The legs need to be longer. There. So I like to do my sketch layers in like a light blue, which is why this is so incredibly blue. Oh, thanks. I mean, if you have any questions about what I'm doing or why, feel free to ask. I'm always happy to share, and I'm also just, get a little bit of insight. Okay, what are we doing here? So, Janice, you're an artist as well, then? Okay. I'm just not gonna worry about this leg right now. I'm gonna figure out this part, figure out the back, and then I'm gonna let the leg handle itself. So the back is like, oh, so maybe I don't want it sitting quite like that. Okay. This makes more sense to me. That's awesome. Yeah, same, same really. I've been drawing on any blank surface I can find since a pretty young age, and I actually work professionally in a completely different field right now. But I'm working in like kids books, where my wife and I work together. We're a team, so she does the writing, I do the art. And we've been working in that community for 6 or 7 years now. So it's been a really awesome learning journey. Yeah, and I haven't looked back. I haven't regretted it whatsoever. It's been absolutely a joy to finally embrace that side. Yeah, something's still not quite right here. The wings are probably not big enough either. Oh yeah, it's in the bio too. So, what do you prefer to draw? Is there anything in particular, or is it just kind of whatever you're feeling? So I'm spending a lot of time kind of working this out. Sometimes, especially when I don't go in with a great idea of what I'm doing, I spend I'll do this just to get it all worked out in the sketch phase where it can be just rough and loose and I don't have to adjust to 100 layers. The time investment really helps. I thought that made sense. It didn't make sense. That was a lie. That's very cool. Yeah, it's, you know, that is one of the best ways you can get growth, in my opinion, is to try something new. There's that, and then there's just like finishing stuff. That's the other thing that I've learned. Like every time I have taken on like a big project and just gotten it done, that has been like immense growth for me. So like I've done a few picture book dummies. We did a pitch packet and sample pages for like a whole graphic novel. Bigger, there we go. And it's been so valuable. Like you just learn so much. Do you work digitally, or do you like to draw with like traditional mediums? Pencil, paper, pen, ink. Let's check this reference. What's this guy doing? So it's that kind of. So the leg is kind of like that, and it comes out. And then there's that. That's awesome. Yeah, it's nice. I do almost all digital, but every now and then I'll just pull out a piece of paper and have it with me while I'm working on something else, and it feels nice to do it. Okay. So this. Nope. I don't like that. That leg is just not quite what I'm going for. So what do we want to do here? Okay. All right, I'm going to think about this one. I'm just going to think about it. That is what I'm going to do. Sometimes, you know, you hit that point where you just like, you realize if you try to force it, it's not going to come through. So I'm just going to let that one sit, and I'm going to play around with this one. So, all right. So for this one, obviously I've already gotten through the line work phase. So really I'm just going to lay down color. And there's also some text we were going to add in. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing the things that like the back of your brain will figure out for you if you just give it the time to do it. All right, you're just taking away drawing room, so I'm gonna dock you right here. Okay. Okay. So I do want to put some text in here. So I might make this canvas just slightly bigger. And now we're 10 by 10. I'm gonna make it taller to make sure we've got room for the text, and that does typically work for a t-shirt as well. 10 by 12 perhaps. That should be good. While we're at it, I'm gonna bump up the resolution. This is all vector, so there's no harm whatsoever in doing that. It's at 300, which is okay for print, but I've heard a lot of places are moving to 600. So let's just go for it, you know? So what I think I want to do with this text is split it out. It's just 2 words. I'll get one on the top, one on the bottom. I'm thinking I'm going to hand letter it. First, I'm just going to kind of figure out layout where I want the text to go. Do a little bit arched like this. Flatten that out a little bit. Maybe have it nice, make a nice little ring around our gargoyle guy. I'm gonna move you up to leave it, get that font a little bit bigger. Okay, drawing a separate layer. And I found it's really good when you're lettering. If you're doing anything at all with the font, just write it simply first. Save yourself the headache and get your spacing in. Figure all that out before you mess around with doing a fancy font. Because, you know, it turns out trying to do a hand-lettered font and warp the shape of it in space all at the same time is hard. That's what I've learned. Yeah, make that guy a little bigger up here. Now watch as I totally like misspell it. Spends 4 hours on a hand lettered font, misspells it. Okay. And this is almost surely not symmetrical. So let's bust out our handy dandy canvas flip. This is a trick that I've only ever really learned digitally. Although I've seen people, like after I finally learned the trick, be like, oh, well, just hold your traditional drawing up in a mirror and you can look at it from the opposite angle. It's a really good way to see how you kind of, your brain compensates for, okay. What I'd heard is that usually what happens is your brain, like when you are one, dominant hand, like right-handed for me, you tend to tilt like your paper a certain way when you're writing and drawing. So your brain learns to compensate for how you see it. But when you're doing art, that can make it harder to catch where things are not symmetric or slanted. I'm like really guilty of this when I'm doing traditional media. So yeah, you can see it like here. I didn't notice as much in this orientation, but like when I flip it over, I can see I've got like a little bit of a slant on the guy. I've definitely seen worse, but like this ear is a little bit lower. So here's what we're gonna do. But maybe not. See. Grab all these guys. Tweak it up a little bit. Yeah, so if you've been doing it for a long time, you are ahead of me, because it took me a long time to first to kind of learn about it, and then second to actually start regularly doing it. Like I'm a self-trained artist. I Like I went to school for to college for like science, math, computer stuff. So there's been some learning moments, I would definitely say. Okay. And maybe you. Okay. Just a hint more. Too much. Again, I'll put on my Clip Studio Vector Art Evangelist hat and say it's pretty awesome just to be able to really tweak stuff like this. Okay. The letters. Let's grab this. Okay. Could have come out a lot worse, honestly, but just gonna get this now. Okay. Pretty good there. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely that kind of mindset of do you want to grow, or do you want to just kind of sit in your comfort zone? I mean, honestly, that's probably the same exact reason that like finishing, like the taking on bigger projects than I'm used to and finishing them has been such a help for me, because it's the same thing. You see your faults and you have to be willing to make mistakes and learn. Okay. Now, what kind of font do I actually want to do for this? Gonna nudge this guy up just a little bit. That's fine. Everything is fine. Okay, so you've been kind of teaching yourself the consistency and the mental adjustments by doing it. Well, that's encouraging. That's encouraging. I mean, I would definitely kind of say my experience has been the same since I started doing it, I think. All right. So, fonts. I mean, honestly, it feels like the smartest thing to do here is to do something that's vaguely reminiscent of their font. Right. Well, honestly, I gotta say that's good on you, pushing yourself. There's, you know, I think no shortage of people who are happy to stay right where they are, and that's cool. That is awesome for them. But I have a lot of respect for people who want to push themselves and grow and take on new stuff. All right, so Gideon's font looks like this-ish. I should lower that. That's not the layer that I wanted. Okay. So I've recently started realizing I actually enjoy lettering, hand lettering quite a bit. It's definitely still a growing experience for me, but it's kind of fun. I do enjoy it. Okay, it's not too sharp on the end thing there. Serif. I actually took some just like a little like certificate course in graphic design a few years ago, and like when we got to the font section, it was pretty fun. Like I'm a little bit of a font snob at times. Not too harsh though. Well, thanks. Well, I hope there's something useful for you here. I'm happy to have you either way. But hey, if I can share something, that's the entire point of why I'm here. To hang out, relax, share what I do. A little bit of an indent in that serif. Kind of looks like a bone. Nope. And the nice thing is, if I decide that I like the other design better and figure out whatever I had going on with that leg, I can always just take the font stuff and apply it there instead. So this is not wasted time. Well, thank you. I hope to be very approachable. In fact, when I went to school, I'm a meteorologist by education, and I did coursework in weathercasting, like for being on TV. And like the nicest compliment that I got from the professor for that course was that I was very non-threatening. So I'm glad that's playing out here as well. It, maybe didn't work out so much for me to be a weathercaster on your local news, but turns out it's pretty good for twitch.tv. And that's all I'm really going for. Okay. Yeah, that K is going to be just a little bit taller and skinnier anyway. It's true. It is. Yeah. I like to be the kind of person that anybody can just talk to. I will happily give you some of my time, hear what's going on. Yeah, that is definitely a goal. It's funny, like you know, I've been watching streams on Twitch for years and years and years, but I'm actually very much usually a lurker. I don't know why. I think in larger social settings, I tend to be a little bit introverted. That K got a little bit big. But it's, you know, you can feel it, like watching the chat for a channel, and you can kind of immediately feel that vibe when people feel comfortable. And it makes a huge difference. Okay, that's probably okay for now. Might have to revisit it later. How do they do their E? Okay. Kind of like that. Not trying to copy, but trying to be vaguely reminiscent of it. Just for the reference. Yeah, same here. Very much. Like, I'm great if I'm in a small group of people, especially people that I know really well, but like, put me in like a bigger setting and I'm just like, I'm quiet. Yeah. Well, I think that's such a misconception about introverts, right? Is that they don't like people, but it's just that a lot of us like people and like to socialize. It just drains our battery so fast. Yeah. It's funny, I will try so hard even after my social battery is drained. Like, I will try to keep that conversation going, but you'll start to realize, like, I'm not any longer making sense. I'm done. Like, my brain won't do it. I'm trying so hard. Yeah, we're close. Shorten that a little bit. Tail of the serif a little bigger there. It's like a weird out-of-body experience too, because you'll start saying something like, yes, I find bananas very entertaining. That was a weird choice. Anyway, you'll say something just like that, and it's like you're watching yourself say it, and you're like, no, don't do it. But then it's out there, and there's no getting it back. But it has taught me to laugh at myself a little bit. Be like, okay, come on, man. That was ridiculous. Yeah. You know, but sometimes it's nice. Like, sometimes you can share a laugh with somebody over that. You can be like, yes, I don't know why I said that. What, you know, but it was really funny. And in fact, like, that is by far preferable to trying to, like, double down on it. Like, no, that's really what I meant. Absolutely. Don't you think so too? Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like, the more you kind of try to get to know about different areas and vocabulary, it just makes it so much easier to talk to all sorts of people. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of some of the actual things that I've said. But usually that's the point that my social battery is drained. So my brain is like, nope, I'm not going to remember this. Although it tries to, like, you know, it's the real rumination and going back and be like, oh no, what did I say? Is this person ever going to want to speak to me again? I'm trying to learn a little bit more self-love in that one. Be like, you know what? It's okay. You're doing your best. You're showing kindness. You mean well. That's a good one. I like that one though. That's fun. I mean, to your credit, there are a lot of flavored waters out there now. But it's funny because that's also the kind of thing where people isn't like. Some people will actually kind of give you the benefit of the doubt on that one, and they'll assume that you're just kind of ribbing them or being funny. But I like that one. All right, turn that right there. Take a snip right there. Okay, that's pretty good. Definitely a serif on the P. If your limbs were falling, okay, wow, clearly I'm reading this really well. If your limbs falling asleep was a flavor, it would be sparkling water. You know, but it's kind of true, right? Like that's actually kind of perfect. Okay. That's why it's disturbing. Yeah, I guess that's true. You know, I'm totally about to write sparkling water here by accident, since I'm now writing something with the same letters as the thing that we're talking about. Totally see it happening. Maybe now that I've called it out, it won't. Best way to stop yourself from doing something is by showing someone else and talking about how you're going to do it. Isn't that how it goes? Well. How do they do that one? Like a little dip and then straightens out. So kind of like that. There we go. Here we go. Oh, you know, I think probably my worst one that I remember. Oh my gosh, this is like 15 years ago. I'm remembering this. We went to Olive Garden. And like this is literally, I'm pretty sure this is a literal bad joke, but the server asked me if I wanted soup or salad, and me like half zoned out thought they said super salad. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I was with my wife at the time, and we still joke about that one to this day. But like, it's that kind of thing, right? It becomes like an inside joke, and the people that are with you remember it, and you just gotta laugh about it. Yeah, I would love to hear a really good one. Just rotate that guy a little bit. Got away from me slightly. Make it a little bit. Okay. Okay, so a movie called Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish. You know, a smarter person might have just copied and pasted the letters he already did, but you know, it looks a little bit more natural, I think, when you just draw each one by hand. Okay. That's a good one. That's... I doubt that. Wouldn't the ocean just be frozen over? You know what? I have to admit, sometimes I'm guilty as well of that, where it's just like, I have to sit with what I just said for a minute or two before it'll kind of kick in. I think a lifetime of doing that has kind of gotten me to the point where I'm like overly clear about what I try to say. Like I spend a lot of time trying to 100% clarify my meaning. And a lot of it's probably not necessary. Probably not. See, it's stuff like that though, right? Like, because you don't really think that like less of her for it. It's just, it was a really funny moment, and it's, you kind of rib each other and it becomes this inside joke. I think that's good, right? So yeah, it's tons of fun. I think it's, I try to remind myself of that. I think one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given / heard, and I keep hearing it again and again, is just like, whenever you feel weird about something that you do, like just imagine that it's your friend. And what would you think of them? What would you say to them? How would you treat them in that instance? And it kind of gives you that layer of insulation from it to where you can be like, oh, okay, like it's not that bad, right? But it's hard to apply in the moment. It's really hard to apply in the moment. Okay, okay. Not bad. Oh, maybe. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's kind of a defining thing. Like, you have to be... You both have to be able to laugh at yourselves, you know? Like, if a friendship is based on, like, one person or both people only ever, like... I don't know, not even praising, but just, like... If you're afraid to say anything, like, to rib or point out flaws, like, you know, you haven't gotten real yet. Here, do a serif like this, like with a K. like my closest friends from high school, um, perhaps I'm aging myself a bit, but that was a while ago. But one of them still just messaged me with one of our inside jokes from like, oh my gosh, it was actually, yeah, like sophomore year. He just out of the blue, I got this message from him about it, and it was pretty hilarious. It's just like that instant, you know, taking you back, remembering the moments and the laughs, and that's great. Something is amok with this Y. Maybe it's just a little bit too condensed in here. Let's try again. Get that. That's awesome. Yeah, taking and giving criticism is an incredible skill. It's so important. Like, that's one of the things that's really interesting for me, navigating between like my day job, which is very much it's science, it's math, like things are very objective, and then working with like our critique groups for our book stuff and our other illustrators, and the subjectivity and learning to be able to take the critique, learn what's helping you, what's true to your voice. Like, oh my gosh, it's just so much. What did I screw up here? Yeah, it definitely helps to be able to ask that question. Yeah. So my wife, like, she doesn't draw, but she's actually quite good at it when she does. She's kind of like my art director half the time. Like, so she'll come in and, because we work together, she looks at anything I do before anybody else, unless I'm doing it on stream, in which case it's more or less the same time. But sometimes she will see stuff that I didn't see, and like, do you ever not see something in your drawing and then someone points it out to you and you like are angry as if they like did something, like they suddenly made the drawing be that thing when it was always there and you didn't see it? Like, not mad, but just like, why did you make me see that? There was there was this one I was working on. This was actually on stream maybe a month ago. Or no, I did the line art before I colored it on stream. But some of the early drafts, it was like this girl with like a cat in front of her, and she was supposed to be holding something, like a photograph. But like the way that the cat was oriented and the way I'd gotten like kind of lazy drawing her fingers, it looked like she was just pointing at the cat's butt. And I didn't see it until Ashley pointed it out to me. And like that one, I wasn't, it was more like I just dissolved into complete laughter at that moment. Oh, no worries. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. It's good to have an honest person regularly tell you what's wrong. Yeah. Yeah, and people who are going to hold a mirror up to your work so you can actually improve. Yeah, I think there is like this fear of criticism. Like with a lot of people, it's hard sometimes to accept like, okay, this needs work, but yeah, like the best people are the ones who are going to be honest with you, but in a way that like helps build you up. I do think it also helps to have people who will tell you what's working in what you're doing. Like it's both. Like good critique is not just what you messed up, but also like what you got right. Okay. Well, hey, those look like words. Dare I flip? Okay. Not the worst. But we can work with it. We've got some things to tweak since we're just talking about critique. Let me demonstrate by making an error. Okay. Yeah, that's why I got a little bit big. That is too small. It is good, but like, you know, what's the saying? Like, even the masters have masters. Like, even the people, you know, there's still room to grow, even if you're really good at something, right? And also, lots of respect for being good with anatomy. It's a work in progress for me. I tend to draw in a comic-y style, so I can get away with bending the rules a little bit more. But it's, you know, I've heard it time and again, like every artist should at least know some basics of it. And I need to get there. So like artists look too much to stay humble and get compliments too much. Oh yeah. So like you're looking for validation. Like you come in with like this low self-opinion, and so you kind of do the critique hoping that you're going to get validation that okay, I really am good. Like that. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, I agree. It's hard. We've been working with a really awesome like graphic novel coach mentor lately, and yeah, developing that internal thermometer of like being able to judge your own work at least at first pass and say like, I know whether this is working for me. I know if I'm accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish here. And being able to frame critique in that way, because some people have their own idea of what your piece should be. Some people have their own idea of what your book should be, and their critique is going to be kind of aimed at transforming what, you know, your vision into that, and that's not always going to serve you. And like getting the confidence to kind of stand by your idea enough, like not necessarily just reject criticism, but like understand what's going to actually help. What happened here? Hello? Right. Okay. Just slightly. Okay. But yeah, there's just like, oh my gosh, it's such a battle, and looking for the way to develop that kind of inner compass on it all is hard. What am I doing? There we go. There's actually a really, really good book that I read that kind of starts to address some of these. Hold on. Where are you? Yeah, right here. So it's maybe I'll switch scenes over here. Maybe you can see it. It's called Art and Fear. Have you read this one? Yeah, is super useful perspective. I should probably read it. It's now been like a year or two since I last read it. But it deals with like some of those issues. Okay. That looks okay. That looks you. I need to adjust the P a little bit. So Janice, do you have to deal with perfectionism very much? Do you have to fight that battle with yourself? Nope. Okay. Oh, so you learned how to deal with it really well? That's awesome. Was there like anything in particular that helped you do that? Okay. Let's vector this. Gonna use my G pen here. Oh yeah, I'd love to hear the quote. See the quote. Yep. Jeff drew on the wrong layer. Okay, yeah, no worries. Okay. I was just singing this song to myself earlier today. That could have been smoother. Let's try one more time. Yep. There we go. You know, I get that same feeling with things too. I'm always like, am I remembering this right? Can I do it justice? Although usually with me it's like jokes. Although sometimes I just have a very different sense of humor. Like trying to convey the Saturday Night Live, like Ryan Gosling papyrus skit to somebody who doesn't care about fonts. Yep. Come on. Nope. Alright, just need to draw this serif first. It's like that. There we go. Nope. Come on, straight line. Here we go. Yeah. I love that they actually have the Cap'n voice track in here. Okay, don't be so concerned with perfection. There will never be 100% of anything that will ever see anything as perfect. There will always be contradiction. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be. It needs to live. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good, succinct way of saying it. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Thank you for sharing that. You know, it's funny. It can sometimes be such a battle. Like, you're like, no, I want to get this just right. He says as he adjusts vertices on individual lines. I promise I learned something. There we go. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, it's the whole creative process is something that is just so, it's interesting how it has a life of its own. That's very true. You want, what's the my favorite quote about that one is smooth seas don't make strong sailors. That one always stuck with me. Just kind of, I mean, I feel like it has a little bit more of a general life spin on it, but you know, the storms that we weather are what make us stronger. And if we live a completely sheltered life, we're not growing. Oh, come on, Game Chops. Is this the second era theme that you're playing? Do you want to make me cry on stream? How do I want to do this? Okay, well, they're a little more upbeat. That's good. That's true, yeah. And I think sometimes you, like, it's beneficial when you make that first mistake on something, because it gets rid of the illusion in your head that it's ever going to be perfect. You're like, okay, I messed up. Now I can keep going and learn from it. That's awesome. Yeah. So with your art, do you draw primarily for yourself? Do you draw like, do you post your art places? Do you know, draw for others? Do you like publish anything? That didn't quite get it right. Yes, Jeff, stop in the middle of the curve. That's a great place to stop and try to continue smoothly. Just keep doing it. Okay, we're just gonna what? Come on. I know you want to connect those points. There we go. Yay! Better. That's better. Yeah, it was 1 point too many. Oh, you want to start streaming art too? You should. Yeah, if you feel like you want to do that, I recommend it. So I'm not a seasoned pro, in case you were not aware of that. I'm sure you were aware of that. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know when exactly I started getting the idea of streaming my art. But it's been good so far. Like, obviously, you know, the chat is not quite a party, but I get some, you know, I've got some friends from critique groups that come in sometimes, and I've gotten a few people coming in and chatting. Aw, thank you. It's really nice having you here. I'm so glad you joined. But also, like, it just, you learn about your own process watching yourself do it. And, like, you know, I put the VODs up on YouTube, so I have to do like a little bit of checking and stuff like that, so I can see my, you know, see a little bit of my process as well, and it gives me a I guess kind of, it's like the little bit of an out-of-body experience on your own art, where you see it from a different angle of the creation. One of the creators in the kids graphic novel community that we're a part of, you know, he's like, oh, well, you know, you can totally watch that and find ways that you can make your process more efficient. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Of course, yeah. So, like, from the improvement perspective, it's good. You get to meet new people. And, like, I know I completely, like, ran from it, like going into school for, like, advanced math and science. But I loved when I was in school, like art class in like middle school, and like just that feeling of sitting around in the studio drawing and chatting with people. And like, this is the closest thing I've experienced to that. Just doing it here on Twitch and chatting with whoever comes by. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I love about Clip Studio, is that they make it really easy to do a time lapse of your art. Of course, I didn't do that here. That would have been, you know, a fun thing to do. Oh, wait, unless, did I do it on the other project I started? I did. Oh, that's exciting. So yeah, I did start it on this one. So you can see this one I traced because I'd done a pencil drawing. Just sitting at my desk. So yeah, you can time lapse, and I love it. It's so fun. Oh yeah, absolutely. Go for it. No, that's too close. Hotkeys, Jeff, hotkeys. You can do this. All right, there we go. Cool. Sorry, I've been trying to get better about using hotkeys on the keyboard. Because they're very beneficial, but I don't usually work with a keyboard in front of me, so I forget to use them when I have it. So notice that a lot of things about being unbiased, and I am, but it's 95%. So what's the pet peeve? Or is this more, are you just speaking more in general? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the easy way out, right? They're just like, oh, I don't have to learn about anatomy. It's just my style. And well, I mean, I can appreciate. Is your style called bad art? I mean, some people, perhaps it is. But then again, like, you can see it when someone's made that choice and knows the rules and is breaking them on purpose, right? Like, and I say this as someone who, like, regrettably did not take art classes after like 7th grade. Even though I loved art and I loved drawing, I got so focused on like, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. But I've taken basically a crash course in the last 7 years. And I feel like I get what you're talking about. Yeah, it's true. It's easier to try sometimes to try to play it off as, oh, I'm deleting points, to play it off as, oh, that was totally intentional, instead of accepting the critique and learning. I agree. It's like, come on, nope, not doing it. I agree. And I think, some of that, it's not just about art, right? Yeah, no, because I think it goes beyond just art, right? Like it's the refusal to grow in any way or to take accountability, and it's not limited to just art. In the end, it just kind of feels like, hey, you've got the skill, you've got something, good going for you. What, if you just work a little bit, if you own up to it, like, you can polish this and make it even better. But instead the choice is like, no, I'm just perfect, it's cool. It's like, yes, I'm all about trying new styles. Something to say about that in a second, but like, everyone knows the kid on the playground, right? Who like was like, when you played like whatever your playground game was, they're like, they found the way to be Superman. They found the way that nothing could ever stop their character. And it's like that. It's like, that's the critique version of it, is like, oh, it's just my style. You don't understand. You have to be willing to grow and at least consider it. At least consider it. I think that's my thing. Yeah, like, there is a time where you can be like, okay, well, I see what you're saying, but I want to continue in this other direction right now, or that aspect of it isn't important to me right now, but yeah, I see it. And that's all well and good, but just consider it, right? Think about it. Acknowledge that there may be a place to grow. I think with styles, and especially when you're trying to get work as an illustrator, or get signed with an agent, as a creator, there's so much advice about style, and it can be really conflicting and confusing. Like, some people say you should only ever have one, maybe two styles of art in your portfolio, right? Like, and they will swear up and down that, like, people just want to make sure you have that consistent voice. And there are other illustrators who swear up and down, they're like, yes, I got hired on my portfolio because I had like 10 different styles in there. I showed my versatility. And I think usually there's a bit of a caveat in there too, of like, they draw different styles, but they have there's something really strong and consistent about their voice as an artist that comes out. And that even when they do it in different styles, like, it's them. And that is something that is so hard to refine. But I've made that more my goal personally. Like, I would love to draw whatever style of art a story or a piece dictates is correct for it. So I'm going to draw different styles and different stuff. I've kind of consolidated down to one primary style for like when I do slice of life comics or stuff, because that's, it's good to have something that you can fall back to. You don't have to think about it. It's easy. You're not consulting anything because it's just you. But yeah, you always learn something from trying new stuff. Hey, Frankie, how's it going? It's not Thursday yet. That's what I was telling myself. This week has gone by quick. Yeah, Janos, I think that's true. Being able to adapt, like, yeah, consistently perform in different environments. Yeah. So Frank, what have you been up to this last week? We're just sitting here chatting while I'm working on. This is a piece. It's gonna be like a T-shirt for a friend of mine. It's actually based on a character for a bakery here around Disney. He looked like me? Do I have a doppelganger art stream? His art needed work. It is a doppelganger art stream. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, wow. Wait, are you supposed to be streaming if you're not over 18? Interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna just take that as a huge compliment that over 13, okay. You know, you'd think this would be fresh in my head after reading the Twitch guidelines and setting everything up, but okay. That's true. I guess that makes sense. Because I know I watch some speedrunners and then, talk about school and stuff like that. Okay. But yeah, I'm just, Frank, I'm just going to take that as a huge compliment and say that I look, as if I could pass for 15 years old. which is obviously not the truth. Oh, no worries. Thanks for stopping by, Janice. If you decide to start streaming art, let me know. Frankie also streams art occasionally, and I definitely would be happy to check out your streams if I can make it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I know I'm going to have to wrap up in a little bit as I have to work in the morning, and that's a good time. But yeah, now, Frank, I know you stream pretty late, so I'm not sure when I'm going to get a chance to catch you, but if I have the chance, I want to see. And Janice, if you start streaming, let me know. Drop a line. I would love to see you work. Yeah. Well, I will be back next Thursday at the very least. That is my plan. Okay, that looks pretty good. Sounds good. Yeah, thanks again for stopping by, and I appreciate the insight and the quote about the perfectionism. That was awesome. Thank you. Ah, that would be nice. I've been known to occasionally listen to streams in the background during my workday, so that would be. I would be happy to check that out. Frank, I've been seeing some of your comics on Instagram. You got a call for an interview? Hey, congratulations. So I'm guessing it's a job that you're excited about, you're hopeful for? I don't know what my hand gesture that I just did was, but I guess it's excitement. That's me. I'm excited. Excited hands. Is that restock the company? Well, so, I mean, I guess it depends by company and depends on the field. Okay, well, that's fair. As long as you can use the job. As long as it's something you feel good about doing. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I will say, you'll sneak in and take them over. And I'm just like picturing your oh my gosh, I was almost gonna say duck, but like, is it it's a duck, right? In your comics. By the way, I was looking at some of your comics on Instagram and I enjoyed them. It's a goose. Oh no. I have committed a faux pas. It's a goose. Some people do the white fowl as like it's a duck, and some people do it as a goose, and you don't wanna mess it up. Well, it looked good from what I saw, like the Instagram. I don't know. Yeah, that's true. White ducks and geese, very similar in cartoon form. But I was just gonna say, by the way, sorry about your interview. I've been on some hiring committees for different positions, and I would say it's good to do your basic research. But just showing that you're willing to learn and ask questions, I think, is gonna help a lot in most cases. But, then again, I will give the caveat that that's like in my, my limited experience, in my opinion. Like, yeah. I don't think I've ever heard someone on a committee comment like, this person clearly, didn't spend hours learning about the ins and outs of our company, so it's a no. I think there were times where like they don't seem to know anything about what we do or who we are, and then that makes it a bit of a harder sell. Yeah. Yep, that one got away from me a little bit. Cool. There we go. Nope. I love the vector erase tool, but sometimes my lines don't intersect as well as I thought they did, and it turns out that I erase everything I did. That's not great. Nope. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That looks pretty all right. Oh my goodness, have I been streaming for almost 2 hours already? Holy cow. Yeah, so hiring managers, I do think most will value the work ethic higher than the technical knowledge. Also, in my experience, there's no matter what job, you end up learning so much just on the job. And like, it's more the ability to learn it and the openness to learn it than like coming in knowing everything. Like if there are candidates who in other ways are all equal, being able to just drop in and do the job is a big helper. Yeah. Well, yes. In my opinion, it's way better to have someone with higher trust and low performance, as long as you know what to consistently expect, than high performance and low trust. Nobody wants to bring like a toxic employee into the office. That's just gonna like, they're great, but they kind of just blow everything up. But at the same time, the hiring managers are trying to find someone who can come in and perform reasonably. But yeah, I think the problem is it can be hard for people to see that early on. Like that's one of the challenges of people who are that type of personality, is that they can be very kind of charming. And you're like, oh wow, look at this person, they're so polished and they're a high performer, and then the problems start later, after they're already in the door. just my 2 cents. But the point is, overall, I think, yes, there are definitely a lot of metrics for performance rather than trust. But yeah, if you like, it's the whole balance thing, I think. But if you generally just show that you are willing and capable to learn, and generally can handle your stuff, that's gonna go a long way. And just being honest with them. Honest and positive. Like nobody wants the person who's like coming in and sharing every bad thing they have to say about current and past employers. But they do want people who are going to be able to, if you get asked the question, what is your greatest weakness, please don't answer with it's that I have no weaknesses. I'm not saying I think you would. Yeah, please don't do that. I'm trying to remember if I've ever actually heard someone say that, like my biggest, I think I've heard once or twice, like, but it's not a common response, thankfully. Oh, that's that's intense. That's a little intense. My biggest weakness is that I'm willing to leave my family for this job. I mean, that's some dedication. Nope, there you go. Well, all interview jokes aside, I really do hope that... Okay. Well, that makes it a little more reasonable if you have no kids. Although also, like, it's kind of, I love the idea of you saying that, and they're like, we didn't even ask that of you. Why would you do that? Sir, this is a family company. Well, I didn't say the other children. So yeah, this has been my chill out. I guess I'm just working on lettering stream. I had done this design like a few months ago that I really liked, and shared it with my friends, and they agreed and thought it might be a cool shirt. So I got that. I was playing around with another pose. I'm having some trouble working out the legs on this one, so this is why I'm lettering now. But yeah, print out your comics and distribute. Yeah, just go to Kinko's, like get some mini comics printed out. Oh, this one? I do too. It's like, I like the little gremlin-y, like, I'm not supposed to be eating the cookie thing going on, but I'm just having some trouble with getting the legs worked out. We'll get there. I was gonna come back to it. The nice thing is I can save the lettering that I've already done and apply it somewhere else. Yeah. yeah, I do think this one has a bit more personality, whereas like this one is mostly just kind of a chibi-fied version of the main logo, the official logo for this place. But yeah, working on the lettering so I can apply that later. Lettering is kind of a fun Zen thing for me, which for someone who talks so much about how they can't draw a straight line to save their life, you'd think it would be very stressful, but it's not. It's been fun. It's been a good time. I've come to really enjoy my little lettering tasks over the years, as I've done more with comics and like picture book stuff. So that's where this is at. I do think I'm going to wrap it up tonight after I finish the last letter. I originally was going to do it earlier, but art is fun. And also, like, it's pretty awesome having folks in chat and just being able to hang out and talk. It's very therapeutic. Ouch. Not yet. Soon, but just nah. Well, unfortunately, I got tons of meetings. That's somebody somewhere. Well, it kind of just worked out, actually. I shouldn't say somebody somewhere, but it kind of just worked out that my Friday mornings are just meetings now. It didn't used to be that way. Like that. That's good. Yep. Come on. Yep. A little bit more on that one. You know what's funny is that I swore at the beginning of stream, like, I'm gonna make myself use all the hotkeys. And then, to be fair, I have, but I totally have given up on Control-Zing for undo, which is like the most obvious hotkey to use. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Same. I can't live without undo either. I just it's one of those like digital artist starter pack things, right? Like then I'll go and draw like on pencil and paper and I'm like, oh, I don't like that line, and I'm like, oh no, wait, I actually have to erase it if I don't like it. I can't just magically make it go away. I also try to pinch to zoom on actual paper. Thankfully, usually nobody's looking when I do it. But it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my gosh, watching spray paint artists? Yes, that blows my mind as well. Like, how do you, how? But I think, there's probably something to be said for that, right? Like, you just have to commit to it. And like you grow through that committing to it and learning from the mistakes. Yeah. Yeah. I love like seeing like when I'm in like like major city, metro, anywhere, and you go through the parts of town that have like the graffiti on buildings. Like, I love it. Like, it's so cool to see what those artists come up with. Like, it is it's amazing. And there's just like that instinct for the graphic design. It's so cool. Okay. So I thought for sure I was just going to finish this guy up tonight, but I did spend some time working on the alternate pose. I did do all the lettering. So this is good progress. I'm pretty happy with this. One or both of these will pan out soon. So I'll probably come in and wrap this up next stream, but I do need to get out of here and get some sleep because, you know, it's that time. And I don't really have that much control over what time I get up in the morning because I have kids. So I'm glad I was able to catch you for a little bit, Frank. I know, the nerve of me. It's Audacity. It's my middle name. For the children. Unfortunately, I will not be leaving my children for this art job. I cannot and will not do that. But I will be back next week, so that'll be good. Yeah, Frank, thanks for stopping by. Anybody else out there, thank you for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. I will be back again next Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And yeah, I hope you all have a good week in between. I have no sage words of advice. Just thank you so much, anybody who watched here tonight on Twitch, anybody watching on YouTube. Yeah, have a great night, and thanks for coming by, everybody. Bye.